let's talk about setting goals and what's realistic when you start a fitness program. So, we've been talking about how our perception of what it takes to be fit has been skewed quite a bit by magazines. Definitely, my muscle and fitness magazine obsession skewed my perception of what it takes to actually be athletic and fit when I attempted to train like a bodybuilder, even though I wasn't actually looking to compete in bodybuilding, which actually skewed my athleticism. And I wasn't focusing on the right types of movements when I actually had different goals. The same thing happens now. So back then it was muscle and fitness. The same thing happens now a lot with Instagram because on Instagram, there's a lot of fit people showing you exercises, but it's not necessarily that that's how they got to that level of fitness, and those exercises may not actually represent how they train. There's a lot of missing information that's put in front of us. So we have a perception of, if I do the same thing as this fit person is doing, then that's probably what the right answer is. um, and actually oftentimes it's a lot more simple than that, and there's there are efficient, simple programs that can help you be consistent, that will help you reach your goals, that may not be competing in bodybuilding, or it may not be, performing at the highest levels in athletic competitions in the Olympics, right? So there's those extreme goals that we seem to come across a lot more often in the media. And so I have spoken to probably hundreds of people at this point who have this perception that for me to be fit, it takes 2 hours of cardio a day, and then I have to lift weights, and then I have to do this body weight split, body part split, or I have to do these extreme movements. I have to do, I have to put in a lot of time at the gym. And it's like, but are you training for the competitions that you're seeing people train for? So there's sort of a difference between what you see the professional athletes showing you how they're training, and I love to watch it, and it's really exciting. I'm a fan of Annie Thorisdottir, who competes in CrossFit, and she trains really hard, and it's amazing, and she's a mom, and I just love watching her train. At the same time, I know that that program isn't for me because that doesn't affect the goals that I have. It doesn't influence sort of how I want to train, what my current interests are in sports. So I definitely am able at this stage in my understanding, and in my like, given my level of experience and education, I can now detangle what I need to be doing versus what I see professional athletes doing, or those, professional models who are in their 20s and I'm 38. There's like a difference between how we train and how we approach fitness and what our goals are. So setting goals is really important, and it's really important for us to stay consistent and to see progress and towards those goals. However, I think when it comes to actually setting the goals, we have some skewed expectations, some skewed perceptions. So um, I can think of one particular client that I spoke with who had this feeling that she's never doing enough. So even if we put together a really small program that she can actually be consistent in, given the amount of time that she has in a day, given all of her other commitments, and given her goals, we would still be able to make progress toward her goals, which were, be healthier. She was pre-diabetic, so she wanted to get healthier. In that regard, she wanted to move more. Her bone density was low, according to her doctor. So she wanted to start lifting weights. She wanted to improve her overall health. She wanted to be able to get up and down and up off the floor, because that's something that she was struggling with at her age and at her fitness level. And then she wanted to, of course, look better in her clothes, feel confident wearing a bikini at the beach, that kind of thing. So there was looks goals, there was health goals, and there were also like mobility goals and kind of skill level goals in fitness, right? So like being able to squat and feel good afterwards. So that I kind of helped her establish that piece of a goal because, of course, that's something that she wasn't thinking about necessarily, but learning how to squat properly would actually help her uh, achieve the goals that she had in terms of looks, in terms of health, in terms of joint mobility. So there's a technique piece in there as well. So when we put together the short program that she could actually accomplish during her day, it wasn't overwhelming, right? So it was like about 15 to 20 minutes of exercises per day, which was actually manageable. And it would get her results because she's going from not lifting weights at all to learning how to lift weights and rebuilding a foundation to then do more. But I noticed that she was really uncomfortable with that because throughout her life, she's been led to believe that if she's not putting in 2 hours of training, if she's not, super sore after every workout, it's not going to work and it's not enough. So I've learned that she's doing a little bit extra on the side and then getting overwhelmed and then throwing the program that we had out of the window. So I want to talk about how our perception actually influences the goals that we have and our ability to be consistent with those goals. So first, we talk about setting realistic goals. And it's much easier to stay consistent if you notice tiny improvements every single time that you train. So every time you show up, you see an improvement. Now, here's the thing. That improvement may not be in the looks department. It may not be, you dropped inches off your waistline, you dropped pounds, you got taller. Like, I don't know, you want to look better for sure. And your clothes will fit better, and you will look better. Promise you that over time. But if you show up consistently, you're not going to see those ginormous changes every single time. So the expectation needs to be that I will identify these little exciting new developments in my journey every single day. That is what will help me stay consistent. So in my opinion, it's like I'm performing a squat. Today, it feels a little bit easier. So before, my knees used to hurt when I performed a squat. Today, my knees feel supple. And then tomorrow I show up and I perform the same squat, I can add a little bit of weight. And today I went from 5-pound weights to 8-pound weights. And that is progress. Of course, it's progress. You're getting stronger. You're getting better at these movements, and your movement quality is improving. So you're becoming aware of these changes. And so to me, that is still progress. That is still getting you closer to your goals. But that is what is going to keep you consistently showing up, because you're going to start chasing those kind of results. You're going to start chasing the movement quality improvements, which you can always, every single time you show up, you can get movement quality improvements out of your workout. You can notice, okay, I have been working on my posture, and I feel a difference today with how my neck feels after I do a barbell back squat. My neck doesn't hurt. I'm feeling a lot more at ease with the same weight. So as you grow your body awareness, you actually can then notice along the journey, along your fitness journey, you can start noticing little changes, little progress that will then be exciting, that will keep you showing up. That is what will keep you being consistent, because you'll see progress every single time. So the goal is then, okay, overall, you might have many different goals, and it might be, lose 20 pounds over the next 6 months. That is totally realistic, totally possible. But how are you going to show up every single time that you need to train? You're not going to be seeing changes time to time in the weight department, but you will be able to identify changes in how you feel. And so becoming aware of how you feel before and after the exercise, during the exercise, with respect to the weight you're using, with respect to the movement quality, will actually be add to that excitement and add to the journey that is going to then get you to the destination. So I really encourage you to focus on how you feel and feeling good during your workouts, before and after your workouts, throughout the day. You're noticing you can walk farther. It's easier to pick up groceries. Noticing those minute changes will actually be much more productive towards getting those goals. So setting big goals is important, but then breaking it up into such small pieces that you're able to identify them day to day is what will keep you coming back, is what will keep you consistently training, which will ultimately get you to your big goals.